Oh, yeah. What did you think, I was dead? As is apparently custom now, every time there's a great gap in my uploading schedule, I tell a story about work that doesn't violate my confidentiality agreement. But this one's less of a story and more of just a general observation over time. My job has me going to a lot of small satellite towns, places that people would describe as a wide spot in a road, and if I'm being honest, they're like the most miserable places on earth. The kinds of places where people say things like, "We just got a Tim Hortons," with crazy levels of excitement as if it's the dawn of a new and prosperous age because they haven't seen a coffee since the gold rush that brought them there. The kinds of places where the people think Walmart is somewhere you go to buy building equipment. The kinds of places where people say things like, "We just got a clothing store in the town center," which is great because up until this point, we had just been swapping our dirty clothes between each other and burying our dead butt naked. The kinds of places where you're driving behind somebody and they have those stickers on the back window that show how big their family is. So it'll be like 2 adults and then 8 kids and a black guy hanging from a tree. Or even worse with the pickup trucks with the deer stickers, and it'll be like a small one for a doe or something, and then a larger one for a 10-point buck, and then a black guy hanging from a tree. The kinds of places where every house will have a closed gate in front of 100 feet of unpaved driveway into the woods, and on the gate will be signs that say things like, "Trespassers will be shot on sight," "Beware of guard dog that's the size of a bear," "Black people will be..." You get it. The kinds of places where I'm in line at a grocery store, and I hear somebody whisper behind me, "I thought we got them all." They don't like black people there is what I'm saying. But Jay, places like that are overflowing with history. Oh, sure, so is Auschwitz. That doesn't mean I'm gonna book a flight. Plus, you can find all of that history in a book that's probably like 10 feet away from you right now as we speak. You're only gonna find inaccurate history books in places like China, and that's because they have more important things to do than catalog the 50 deadliest weapons their great-grandparents crafted using nothing but sticky rice and a horse hair. And no amount of tradition is going to make the Pepsi bottle itself. Also, no one's capable of minding their own business in a small town unless that town is in Children of the Corn, and that's because their only business is killing adults to appease a harvest demon. So I guess what we should take away from that is more small towns should have a Satan in a cornfield because it keeps people's mouths shut. Children of the Corn is about 2 incompetent adults whose lives are put in danger by a 4-foot Amish 12-year-old and his ginger slave boy. And that's either the plot to a really good Eddie Murphy movie or a really bad porn. I have a lot of gripes with that movie. The adults learn very early on that their kids are being held captive by a child murder cult, which sounds frightening, but it's also run by children. And they didn't realize until the last 20 minutes that they could just roundhouse kick their way around town until they got answers. Have you ever kicked a child in the face? They're pretty compliant after that. Nothing gets a 9-year-old out of a sacrificial mood like telling them their dog's dead. Everybody's afraid of this German kid who can do butterfly knife tricks with his scythe because he's the only one in the whole town who's over 5 feet tall and his teeth look like they want to escape his head. But the scythe is not a very versatile weapon. You get like 1 chance with that, and then I'm going to take it and I'm going to stick it up your ass and so that it comes out your urethra. And then I'm going to bend you over and I'm going to shove the hook through the roof of your mouth, turning you into a human hoop, which I will then push down a dirt road with a stick like they used to do in that time period. And that's another thing that I hate about small towns. Every single one, it feels like I had to go 88 miles per hour in a DeLorean to get there. Half the time I'm concerned I won't be welcome because us city folk always show up with strange fantasies about machines that travel faster than a steam train and invisible waves that fly over your head and allow you to show somebody out west a picture of a subpar penis in less time than the fortnight it would take to travel there by Seabiscuit and whip it out during a cribbage game. Almost everybody looks like they just got back from tilling the fields, which, really? Because look, there's a McDonald's. I'm pretty sure just overalls still falls under the blanket of no shirt, no shoes, no service. You're surrounded by 2017. If you're still concerned about whether or not your son's going to come home with a boy, I can't imagine the heart attack you're going to have when they announce that they each have 8 genders and one's a turtle. Gee, Pa, all this corn sure is oppressive. As soon as I'm done with this journal entry, it's going right in the mailbag to the big city so that next year everybody's going to know how triggered they should be. So if you're concerned that you're the only one stuck in the past because the scarecrows on the horizon are backlit by shadows dancing off of a burning cross, or you can't get to sleep because of the wail of frenzied excitement about the Kmart that just opened 2 counties over, don't fret because that shit is everywhere, and believe it or not, cities are worse. Have you ever tried to get downtown at 9 a.m.? It's like that scene in Mad Max when Immortan Joe unleashes the water. Also, I made the mistake of putting a litter box right there.